This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, saving your day from boredom with the best podcasting entertainment.
What's up, real MVPs? Ricky Widmer here, along with fellow Manchild, Johnny Karlic. And if you're thinking, wow, guys, this is a weird opening to the Rick and Johnny podcast where we talk about everything under the two nerdy suns. It's a weird opening because this is like the third time I've done this today.
Yeah.
I did it once for the Captain Marvel review, which you can check out on our channel. I also
sure?
did
Our
it,
channel? It's
well,
on a little pause
MVP. Then I did it for the Nerd Madness announcement, which you can check out on our channel. And then finally, I am doing it now for the Rick and Johnny podcast, the actual podcast where we go into the three topics we are going to talk about this week. We usually talk about superheroes, comic books, movies, TV, all that good stuff. Like I said, two nerdy sons, all that jazz. But before we get into everything, make sure to check us out on patreon.com/mostvaluablepodcast. That's where you can help support us and make sure we can keep doing the podcast that we love doing for you each and every week. $10 tier, you can join us every single month. You support us at that tier, talking about what you would like us to talk about. And then also make sure to go on iTunes and Apple Podcasts and make sure you rate and review the Rick and Johnny podcast. It really helps us make sure we can get into more ear holes like the one I'm pointing at right now, and it really helps us, gets more attention onto the podcast.
Holes.
But what we were talking about today is we've got some MCU, a little fun topic that was actually sparked immediately after Johnny and I saw Captain Marvel. We started
Sparks
arguing.
an understatement.
Yeah, we were starting to argue, and I'm like, save it for the podcast, Johnny. I think we got a topic, so we're going to talk about what should the next big event be after Avengers Endgame. Then we have some Suicide Squad 2 news, potentially. You and I talked about it last week. Will Smith is gone. Well, Idris Elba and Dave Bautista could be joining the team. We're going to be talking about that possibility and the new cast that we could be seeing, or the new characters we could be seeing. Then we have a double whammy, a double dip for the Shazam news. We got a new Shazam trailer that Johnny and I are going to break down, but also some Black Adam movie news that we're also going to look at as well. But Johnny, let's start the podcast with a good old-fashioned argument. You know what I'm saying here?
Hell yeah.
Because you and I started to argue.
We were almost getting heated in that.
A little bit, and that's why I was like, this is good for the podcast. So how it all started was Captain Marvel, which, by the way, before I say anything with this, I am going to put up this disclaimer. Spoilers, bro. Like, there are going to be spoilers for Captain Marvel.
There will be.
So if you haven't seen Captain Marvel, hit pause. We'll be here. It'll be here. I ain't taking this video down. This video ain't coming down. It's going to stay up. Go see Captain Marvel and then join the discussion. So, Johnny, the whole discussion we had was basically after Avengers Endgame, what should eventually be the next big event for the MCU? And this all sparked because in Captain Marvel, the Skrulls were kind of leaving Earth. Captain Marvel was helping them escape the Kree. We at the time was like, oh, well, it looks like they might not be doing Secret Wars, which they end up still could be doing now that I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I had thrown out one that, oh, if you're not going to do Secret Wars, they could do, and you were adamant that you do not want my idea to even happen. I will throw the question.
I don't want it to be the big thing. I'm not opposed to yours.
I will throw yours over to you. What should be the next MCU big event, like the Infinity War big Endgame event after Endgame that they would build up
It's
to?
hard because, like, I would like Secret Wars to be the thing, but right now they potentially, I'm not going to say they did, because there's a chance to bring that back around, was Secret Wars. That was the one.
Yeah.
That was the one I could think of. What's my next big baddie? Next big baddie to me is probably Galactus. Let's go with force of nature instead of someone trying to destroy everything. Well, I mean, same idea. With someone that... Thanos. Instead of going with a Thanos type villain, let's go with Galactus like a big time villain. Do something that the Earth gets its Yeah, you got some look on your face.
I got a look on my face, so I don't mean to cut you off.
Cut me off. You always do.
This might be a subject. This might be the first time we've had a topic changer mid-podcast, because there's also with this a grain of salt. I have not read the articles yet, but so I am now looking at two sites. The first one looked kind of sketchy. Worldofreal.com. Okay, also, so they sort the second sites that I have. So according to we'vegotThiscovered.com, the headline says, Marvel reportedly planning an Avengers versus X-Men movie. And I'm just going to read the article really quick live here on the podcast. With the Disney-Fox deal expected to close later this month, Marvel Studios will soon be at liberty to bring the X-Men into the MCU. And since the whole reason why fans are excited about this development is the prospect of finally seeing the Marvel mutants share the screen with the Disney roster, it figures that Kevin Feige and his team will have some crossover projects lined up. In fact, according to one source close to We Got This Covered, an all-out Avengers vs. X-Men movie is currently on the cards, though their report didn't offer any specific detail about the nature of this clash. The source did add that Marvel Studios will begin building to it once the merger is completed, which suggests that the X-Men may have a few stepping stone projects leading up to the big crossover moment. A slow build that would also make sense from the Avengers side of the equation, seeing how Disney will surely want to hand the team a rest after giving them 2 movies in the span of 2 years. The reason why I bring this up, first off, by reading this, nothing to put your name on. Like, yes, We Got This Covered, usually a reputable source, or a credible source, I should say, but it's not like Screen Rant. It's not like Screen Rant ain't touching this. I haven't seen The Hollywood Reporter touch this. I haven't even seen the hashtag show and all that touch it. This is the first I've seen of this.
Mm-hmm.
Second off, and this is in sports too, we get this all the time. Well, my source says, well, why doesn't your source kind of come out and put a name on it? Now, in this case, he or she can't put a name on it, because if she does, Disney gonna be mad, because this is gonna be, hey, we trying to get Fox characters here, don't fuck this shit up. But this is what I was saying, Johnny, and me and you got heated about. You were, correct me if I'm wrong, you were on the Secret War bandwagon, am I correct?
After a little while, yeah.
You were like, they could still give me that Secret War. I am all on the Avengers versus X-Men crossover. Give me that as the big event, because then you can build up your new Avenger team while you're building up the X-Men in the universe. Bam, make them clash. Because the Avengers are going to be like, who the hell are you? Oh, we're mutants. What the hell's a mutant? We've never heard of that word before.
I just don't feel like it's as it's the big
we've never
Thanos
heard that word
thing.
Before. I think it can be.
I don't feel like it's
changing.
I guess it's overall. I mean, the biggest part of it is you're gonna more so use the movies to reintroduce basically phase 1 it again with the X-Men now.
Say that again?
You're gonna basically phase 1 it as the X-Men.
I mean, not really.
To a degree. You're going to do
Go into detail about what, because I'm confused about what you exactly mean by that.
I should say that and the new Avengers lineup, because you're going to you're going to have some solo movies with X-Men, or duo movies with X-Men characters. And then you're going to have you're going to be setting up your new Avengers lineup to some degree. Yeah, we already know who a bunch of these guys are, but you're going to have some solo films with them. But I would feel like the biggest thing is I feel like when you do Avengers v X-Men, it comes off as more of a how do I put this? It comes off as more of a Civil War type movie.
A little bit, but on a grander scale.
I mean, to be fair,
a much like
Civil War should have been a grander scale because that's what the storyline was in the comic books for that too. Then,
yeah, but I mean, I feel like the reason why Civil War wasn't on a grander scale is because we knew we were building the Thanos.
That's true.
And if we made it a grand scale, then it's like, okay, there's two things competing with each other, where Avengers versus X-Men wouldn't have that problem.
Now it wouldn't because we don't have another big baddie. We don't really have Secret Wars to rely on at the moment because with what happened to Captain Marvel.
Yeah, and that's another thing I will throw
I'm not saying
out
it's not there, but I'm going to say right now, potential, it's pushed away.
But you know what? I will say that because we talked about that in our Captain Marvel review. You should go check it out. I'll probably put it above Johnny at this point. I will say Secret Wars is still on the table. To where if you don't do it now, they could still do it in the future, giving the Kree some time.
It's not confidently on the table like you and I were before Captain Marvel. Correct?
But ask Kevin Feige. We never saw the Skrull in other movies, so they could already be back on Earth.
Not like it didn't happen.
Yeah, it's not like it didn't happen. Not saying it did. Not saying it didn't. But like even like because this is in the comics, and I am super excited to read for AGC. We're going to actually read Avengers versus X-Men this year. Yeah. Because it was a fan requested one that we read, and I'm like, fuck it, let's put it on there because you guys want us to read it. This is one that's obviously the whole story is split up into 3 big acts in the comics, so you could easily get a two big movie thing out of it.
That's true. Then in that case,
and like the thing that I just want to throw in there, here's a question of when the X-Men come over, is everything that we've seen in First Class going to be dead or not?
I think it's going to be dead.
But here's what they're going to do. Here's what they could do. Recast, like, okay, we have a new Jean Grey, but we're not going to do Dark Phoenix again. That already happened. They remember the events of First Class, Apocalypse, Dark Phoenix. But just in the MCU,
kind of like
it's a new character.
Kind of like when Incredible Hulk, he has a flashback from the first Ang Lee Hulk.
Exactly. Or like it's Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
But it's basically like Mark Ruffalo. They're gonna Mark Ruffalo the X-Men.
Yes, but what I'm saying is like Ang Lee's Hulk, the first Hulk before Iron Man came out.
The one that was terrible.
Yeah, the one that was terrible. They made one reference, and I get it was only one reference, but it was one reference from that one, from the
You were talking about the one right after Iron Man?
One right after Iron Man.
Made reference to the Ang Lee one.
To the Ang Lee one. It was one minute scene, but it still tied them together.
Exactly.
So it's like, yes, so technically the storyline is canon to it, but it's not set in stone. And then they Mark Ruffalo'd us, and thank you for that.
I just feel like it's going to be a Mark Ruffalo thing of like, we're just not going to talk about it. It's just going to be understood. And okay, we're going to move on here. See,
my thought would be then it's not going to be like the 10-year Thanos thing. It's maybe going to be, I could say maybe it's going to be a 5-year. Because I don't think you can have enough necessarily to build up 10 years worth of movies, Avengers versus X-Men. Yeah, you can get I can give it 7, but I can't see 10. Because you can do a few offshoots of the X-Men. You can make sure you're setting up your Avengers. Then you can have you come into the Clash movie that actually hurt a little bit because I punched a little hard.
Think about it though, like not every movie that comes out from Marvel though has to lead towards this.
Oh, I know it doesn't.
And like someone referenced on a different movie, I was you almost broke your knuckles, didn't you?
No, it just feels weird.
That. Yeah, because you compacted your bones when you punched it. Johnny can only hurt Johnny.
Yeah.
That's what we've learned. And now you've just broken your hand on a podcast.
Take my strong hand.
Yeah, I'm not going to touch that thing. But basically what I'm saying is not every movie has to lead into it.
Oh, I know that.
Number 2, of course I'm pulling at straws here. But the thing I look at, think about what we said. New Avengers team, X-Men coming in. Think about the movie we're just going to see with X-Men that I am not hyped for, but I will go see it because it's X-Men. So in Act 2, called No More Avengers, I'm just going to read the first paragraph of the wiki synopsis.
Okay.
10 days after bonding with the Phoenix Fire have started reforming the world according to their will. providing free energy, food, water to all humanity, as well as ending armed conflicts around the globe. The Avengers are summoned to the White House and agree that despite their good efforts, the Phoenix Fire must be stopped as their power grows unchecked. Believing hope to be the key in defeating the Phoenix Fire, the Avengers launch an operation to exact hope from Utopia. They are nearly defeated by Cyclops, but are rescued by Scarlet Witch. Kind of funny. Scarlet Witch already has a tie with the Avengers. Hope agrees to go with Scarlet Witch as Cyclops vows that he will no longer tolerate the Avengers. Then it goes on. Wow, even Namor's in this. So they could even do a Namor movie before they get to this even. But I mean, just that alone, where it's not going to be exactly what's in the comics, because we've seen
obviously.
the MCU does its own thing, but we could totally see something where it's like the mutants come up, or it's just, hey, we didn't really notice this mutant thing going on, and now mutations are just becoming more and more, and it starts off as that X-Men movie here, X-Men movie there. We have a small Civil War-like movie that puts the X-Men and Avengers in the same movie, and then it just gets to a greater, or it's just one hero, where like an Iron Man is in this and has a confrontation with like a Wolverine or something. I'm just throwing two names out there. And that builds to the bigger movie of X-Men versus Avengers, where this team is going up against this team, and that is your next big event. Because the thing I wonder is with Captain Marvel, how that played out, is that them saying, you know what? We're telling you we're not going to do Secret Wars right now. Like, it's not going to be the next thing we do because of what happened in Captain Marvel.
Could be. I mean, it could be their thing that, like, we're going to hold off on Secret Wars, actually. Mm-hmm. Or it could be, again, like, just like a Avengers trailer thing. Avengers Infinity War trailer. This is just the runaround right now.
True. Can't believe anything Marvel says.
No, you can't. Makes it hard and not hard. It makes it hard, but actually not hard for us to speculate.
So, like, I was going to ask you, and I think I already know the answer to this question.
Yeah.
Is that, let's say they do that X-Men versus Avengers is going to be the next big plan. What are your thoughts? Are you excited for it? Are you nervous for it? Are you like, I wouldn't do that as your next big plan? What are you thinking?
I'm not opposed to it, but it's like I wouldn't think that would. My initial thought was that it wouldn't be the big thing. Mm-hmm. Since you read the article, I don't know how true it is, like you stated, yet.
And that's the thing where it's like, yes, we've got this covered, has had other things that they were right on. Mm-hmm. But take it with a grain of salt when someone says, I got one source. They could have a source. They couldn't have a source. Like the first comment on this site is totally not believing it when they go, okay, now it's clear your site is clickbait and fake news. So like right away, people are going to see this and go, no, it's not true. So take it with a grain of salt. We're just discussing it because we were going to have this discussion and I was going to throw out that this should be the next big event.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I'm not opposed to it necessarily. But that's the thing is like, I can't see it being like the full 10-year one. I feel like it'd be shorter because you don't have to necessarily set up all your new Avengers because a lot of them are sort of set up anyways. You do some side movies with them as well, but and then until we get the X-Men, and all that stuff. I mean, yeah, like you said, not all of these movies have to be towards that, but usually all of them sort of tie in to some degree.
And think about it this way too. I just thought of this is you could have it to, I think that I am pretty sure that they could take the X-Men v Avengers storyline and group it into two movies, kind of like they did Infinity War and Endgame. And then what they could do...
Act 1, Act 2, basically.
Act 1, Act 2, in the comics there's 3 acts, but we're just going to
cut
go act 1, act 2.
Cut the middle one into
Yeah.
2 and put it one way, one the other.
But the thing that I think about too is, like, for example, we've talked about Galactus. We've talked about Kang the Conqueror. What they could do is maybe use it as a jumping off point where it's like, hey, they're enemies. Oh, wait, now they're friends because there's a common enemy against them. Silver Surfer could come in and be like, hey, Galactus is coming. There could also be wait, who the hell is that guy? Oh, wait, Kang the Conqueror is here.
Okay, actually, I'm going to go off of yours and just make...
I'm throwing stuff out here that, like, because that's the thing at the end of X-Men, like, they fight, but then at the end of that second movie, it's like there's a common threat to where then they have to come together and realize, fuck, we're on the same side here, people. Why are we fighting each other?
I'm gonna throw you one out there. So this is a 10-year. I'm gonna call it the 10-year cycle.
Okay.
Big baddie at the end is what the 10th movie is about.
Is this the Marvel formula for 10-year cycles? Is that what you're doing?
No, I'm just making this up as I go. So I'm gonna make the first few movies. This side of it is introducing who you don't have for the Avengers. This one is excuse me. This one's sort of introducing X-Men and giving you some storylines for that. Marvel one, you can have them make a second or third movie in for like their next Avengers one is the Avengers versus Kang because of all the time looping stuff.
Especially what Thanos has been doing.
Exactly. Thanos, and not to mention what's supposed to be Endgame with the time jumping.
Yeah, we gotta see how much of that is time jumping and time vertices in the quantum realm.
Yes, but no, it's all just let's say it's all fucking with time, right?
Yeah, let's just use that as the basis.
Make the next Avengers movie after that, maybe third movie, fourth movie in from there is that new Avengers versus Kang. And then you have your X-Men. You can have them if we don't go off what this, maybe redo Apocalypse or have them fight. Do
you think Disney Marvel would do Apocalypse after First Class?
Probably not. I'm trying to think of the other one though. What's the one that made himself into a mutant? Is fascinated with Scott and Jean. Can't remember his name at the moment. It's one of their villains. You can have them do sort of a House of M if you really wanted to, but that would maybe not. I mean, I feel like you have to set up for House of M from what you described before.
Yeah, like that one would be an offshoot. Because I think you're trying. I think I know who you're talking about.
In the old cartoons, pale face, black suit.
Mr. Sinister?
Mr. Sinister. Make that one of the villains and whatever. Then
as soon as you said pale black suit, I was like, oh,
Mr. Sinister.
The SS Corp that they've talked
and
about.
Just do little things here and there, lead to the 7-year mark. That's your Avengers. 7-year mark is the first half of Avengers versus X-Men. 8-year, that's the next one, and then you can throw another movie here and there. Make your 9-10 year, because then you can throw while you're in there, you can throw a Namor movie in there. You can reintroduce us to Fantastic Four into the universe. 10-year is the big Galactus one where everyone's in it again.
True.
Because the Galactus is usually, and then when you're leading it, between year 8 and 9, you can have a Silver Surfer movie, and then number 10 year, Galactus is fucking coming. You need the Fantastic Four, you need the X-Men, you need the Avengers.
I got a question for you.
Yes.
Do you think Disney will plan or do something? Disney Marvel, so Kevin Feige is going to plan to do something where it's like, okay, we have a big event for X-Men, Dark Phoenix. We obviously have Endgame for the Avengers.
Yes.
Is basically what brings them into the universe is everything. The Avengers think, hey, we won. We've set everything back up as usual. That something with that, what happened in Endgame and what's happening at Dark Phoenix Saga, that those two timelines happening together hit the climax at the same point, and that's why they form into one.
Could be.
And then the X-Men are in this timeline, and that's why it's like before they were never in this timeline. Why are they now? Am I getting too confusing? Am I getting too Rick and Morty on you?
It could be. I'm just thinking if they were, because again, if they want to recast, I mean, jumping timelines could mess with that, but it's kind of hard to explain that.
Well, I would just say multiverses or parallel universes.
Yeah.
That messing with time swarm these two together, and that's why the X-Men are now there. But also, Another thing that I think can get you into Avengers versus X-Men, Magneto. They see Magneto, they go after Magneto, and then the Avengers go, well, fuck it. All of you costumed mutants are evil. Like, we're not going to ask questions. No, you guys mutants are bad, and that's when you get kind of an Avengers X-Men thing over.
Yeah, there's some way we can pull it into it, because obviously they're going to be, they're going to see something with Magneto and maybe have the mutant phobia.
Or just like the Juggernaut or something. Like some small town guy.
The mutant phobia, yeah.
Because like Magneto's got a Grandmaster plan. Like Magneto's not the villain that does something to does something. There's a reason why he's doing it.
What if they fight the Brotherhood?
Maybe.
And then think the X-Men, just the same thing.
Exactly. Like all mutants are evil.
Yeah, not necessarily that all mutants are evil, but like, oh, maybe they just think it's an extension of the Brotherhood.
Mm-hmm. And before stuff gets cleared out, I think it'd be very interesting. Do I get paid enough to come up with that? Oh, God, no.
No, absolutely not.
Would I want that pressure on my shoulders? God, no. However, I think Avengers versus X-Men could lead up to a nice big thing, and then you can leave the properties separated while you get the X-Men on their footing.
Yeah. And
then once you have them on their footing, put them up against this new Avengers team if you want to get the Avengers on their footing as well and get the Phase 1 guys out and the newbies in.
Well, yeah, because we're kind of losing a lot of Phase 1. So, like, you can use the time while you're still getting the X-Men to start rebuilding the Avengers. Do some solo movies. Do your space movies as well.
Yeah.
And then work your way towards... Once you get the X-Men, start doing movies back and forth a little bit here and there, and work your way. Obviously, you're going to have a Deadpool movie that doesn't really count towards any of that stuff because they still want to do that. You can do the Fantastic Four that doesn't necessarily tie in 100%. And it's like, it would be like, you got like two main lines that are X-Men and Avengers, and eventually
they cross.
You got like Fantastic Four is like, you got the X-Men line, Fantastic Four comes, or no, I'm thinking Deadpool shoots off of it this way, and does not.
You've got little branches coming off.
But then you got, I don't know where you put Fantastic Four in the branching, if it comes off the Avengers, off of X-Men, but their branch would like come back and go right into Galactus.
Maybe, yeah.
That's what my thought would be.
Yeah,
make Galactus your big thing that like this Avengers movie brought everyone in.
Well, or like you have the two, have Fantastic Four go on this side because then Spider-Man can come off of the Avengers side and go into
do a crossover on that too.
Exactly, because he's teamed up with the.
That's true. That's right. I forgot about them. Well, Johnny Storm was gone, and he teamed up with them for
also
that
you have
spot.
The bombastic Bagman.
Yes,
the one where
it'd be funny.
Spider-Man's suit gets all torn. He doesn't have a face mask anymore,
so he throws on the Fantastic Four suit. And
they give him one of Johnny's suit and just a brown paper bag, the bombastic Bagman.
It would be hilarious to make a reference towards that.
Any final thoughts before we move on into some DC for the rest of the podcast?
No, I think you're really happy that I turned around a little bit on it.
I am. Well, I'm hoping this is real. Like the sources, my sources, I hope that they're real.
You know, it'd be nice
because I want it to be the next big
if Feige
thing.
watches this and just
Feige goes, nope, Ricky's onto something. Damn it, that damn Ricky's foiling our plans again, guys. Foiling them again. I foil a lot of plans with my predictions.
These two assholes making up our next universe.
Why are we giving him these accents? I don't know. Kevin Feige talks nothing like what
Kevin
we just
Feige's
did.
sitting in front of the computer going, son of a bitch, I'm going to try my Boston accent today.
It's just our go-throughs. These are the voices we go to, and they're our go-tos. But this is where you guys come in. Let us know what you think down below in that comment section. What do you think the big next event should be? Will it be Avengers versus X-Men? Will it be Secret Wars? What do you think? Let us know down below.